How's it going, YouTube? Raj here. Today I'm going to be reviewing a fragrance from the house of Sospiro, which is set up by Xerjoff, the Italian fragrance house. This fragrance is Duetto, part of Chapter 1 of the Sospiro collection. Let's have a very quick look at the box. The box, by the way, is actually the Capriccio box. I couldn't find the Duetto box. Maybe I've thrown it away. I don't know. Well, anyway, so this is the box here, Sospiro. It says Capriccio, obviously. All the name of the fragrance will be down here. Same pattern around here. And there was a sleeve attached to this, but I've lost it. Anyway, the fragrance sits in like this. Nice presentation, I like it. The bottle definitely stands out. It is actually purple. It's coming across as blue here, but it is purple. It says Duetto down there. And you've got a very weighty cap. It's a bit over the top, but you know, it's nice. It's a nice presentation. Pricing for this, well, you can get it at the German website auslieberzumduft.de, first in fragrance. Essenza Mobile, Javoy Paris, I think, also sells it. Pricing is around €255 for 100 ml. I got mine in London from a place called Fortnum & Mason for £225. So what about the notes? Well, the top notes there is pink pepper, coriander, and ylang-ylang. In the middle of this fragrance, there's rose absolutes, sambac jasmine, and cloves. In the base, there is patchouli, sandalwood, vetiver, oak moss, ambergris, oud wood, Bourbon vanilla, and musk. So wow. So the first thing to say about the opening of Duetto is that it is an absolute explosion of spice and a hint of kind of very heady type florals. I think it's coming from a mixture of the jasmine and the clove, which gives it this kind of almost sweaty floral type of chord. And all these spices on the top notes give me a feeling of saffron. It really makes me think of saffron. Putting on your nose, if anybody has ever put your nose into a jar of saffron, it is a really potent aroma. And it's not listed in the notes, but I kind of get it. I kind of get it in the opening. It's a little bit funky, I've got to be honest. The opening of Duetto, you're going to love it, or, well, you may not even love it. You might dislike it, or you might find it a little bit odd. It's a little bit harsh, but give it a little bit of time. Wait for around half an hour to an hour, and what starts to develop in this very luxurious, thick, opulent fragrance is a very thick, kind of almost raspberry-like rose. I know that sounds a bit strange, but if anybody has ever smelled raspberry jam mixed in with a rose, kind of rose water, kind of rose petals, yeah. All those types of images are coming into my head, and the scent also kind of gives me that feeling. It's a very thick rose note. Reminds me a little bit of Tom Ford's Noir de Noir. As the fragrance goes on, you've got this floral note just in the background, adding this kind of cloud of thickness to this fragrance. This is a fragrance that lasts a very long time on skin. We're talking, well, to be honest, we're talking into the next day. It's very oily on the skin. It seems to have a very high concentration. And as the fragrance develops and this thickness and richness continues, it develops into this smoky oud wood accord, mixed in with a sweetness from the vanilla. It makes it a very deep fragrance. What I mean by that is that it starts off with an explosion, and it kind of, it's difficult to say, but it develops into a pyramid. And what that means is that you've got this opening, and then it just expands and expands, and the fragrance comes together as one. No notes really die off my skin, and well, they do, but they're still kind of there in the background. Everything is there in one go, but coming together as one or two accords. It's a well put together fragrance, and the fragrance is called Duetto. So it's a duet, you could say, between the rose and the oud, but there are other fragrances coming in there, giving it this really kind of almost headache-inducing fragrance if you spray too much. In the base, yeah, you've got this nice oud and this smoky, sweet sandalwood in there. It's a very long scent trail, has very large projection. It is a monster of fragrance and it's lethal in the wrong hands. Number of sprays for me, one or two. Honestly, I'm not somebody who likes to shout with my fragrance. I'm not somebody who likes to be, you know, 10 sprays of something and filling the room. And that's the problem I find with Sospiro's Duetto, is that it's actually not a fragrance that is my style. And the thing what I mean by that is, when I bought this fragrance and when I got into the world of fragrances, in a deeper level, I love trying all these types of luxurious scents and exotic. This is an exotic fragrance. You could describe it as that. Weird and wonderful, creative fragrances. And because everything was new, I wanted to try everything in one go. But now that I kind of have a firm understanding of what I love in fragrances and what is suited to me, what is my style, what complements my character, my personality, and I think you can do that with fragrances. Duetto doesn't quite fit into that. It's a little bit too loud for me. It's a little bit too spicy, and it's a bit too much of a heavy hitter fragrance. It's just not me. So what I will say with Duetto is that I've enjoyed wearing it. I really do think it's an excellent fragrance. It has to be for the right type of person. You have to be a certain type of person to pull this off, I feel. So ratings. Well, I'm gonna go with 8.5 because I was tempted to go a little bit higher, but the opening is a little bit off-putting to me. So I'm gonna go with 8.5. It's worth getting your nose on if you can. I know it's a little bit difficult to find. But Xerjoff Duetto, it's an interesting fragrance. And the Sospiro line is definitely worth exploring, if you can. So guys, let me know your thoughts on this fragrance. What about alternatives? Are there any alternatives, cheaper alternatives? People like to look at cheaper alternatives. It's not just another rose oud, I'll be honest. It's not just that. It's one of the best. But it has to be your type of thing. So guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.